Okay guys, so we are here and now we have to identify point P, or all of the points, all of the P points that are on the number line. So as you know, this is a number line, a numerical line. So we start by counting or seeing how many intervals there are on each number line. So we know just by looking at the denominator that there are 6 intervals. We know it just by looking at the denominator. Obviously, we can count how many intervals there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 intervals, and that is going to be represented by the same numbers that are on the denominator. So if I were to identify this point on my number line, all I needed to do was to look at the number that is after the point, or the P point. So what comes before 2? You're right, 1/6. So 1/6 would be my P point for this number line. So this is my answer. Now, if I were to identify these 2 points, or yes, points or unit fractions, I have to count the intervals. But you know that there are 3 intervals because that is my denominator. So this one would be 1/3, because what comes before 2? 1. And the 3 is because we have 3 intervals. 1, 2, 3. Now, if I were to identify this point, this is my last point, just like this. The last point on the number line is identified as a whole number. A whole number. Even though this P point is a whole number, the reason for this whole number is because this point is actually 3/3. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 copies, and then I have 3 intervals. So 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So this is the whole number. And lastly, on our last example, we have to identify these 2 points. In order for us to do it, we have to keep in mind the number of intervals. But now is a little bit harder because we don't have the denominators. So we have to count up until our first whole number. This is the first whole number, this one. So we have 1, 2, and 3. We have 3 intervals. We have 3 intervals. So this one would be 1/3, 2/3. Obviously, this one would be 3/3, or 1. This one would be 4/3, 5/3, and this one would be 6/3. And when you simplify, this fraction is simplified to a whole number. For example, 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So this is the reason why we have a whole number here, because this fraction can be simplified into a whole number. This fraction cannot be simplified to a whole number. When you divide 4 divided by 3, 5 divided by 3, you get a decimal, not a whole number, okay? And decimal numbers are numbers that have a 0 in between them, okay? So, I hope you have understood this topic. If you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to call me or message me. And see you on the next video. Bye-bye.